Oh, look at that.
But the driver is boxed in by the truck and car in front of them.
Okay, time for road rage. Let's see this idiot almost crashing out the wall.
As the dangerous driver tailgates, the pickup truck applies its brakes.
Something stupid, come on. Okay, let's see. Give it a try. Oh, maybe not.
Suddenly,
Okay, what are you doing?
the driver makes a dangerous move to pass using the far right lane. But they misjudge. As the driver tries to squeeze through the truck and the car beside it, they lose control and slam into the granite wall. Despite the violent crash, the driver, a 27-year-old man, sustains only minor injuries. He receives summonses for reckless driving and weaving in traffic, and hopefully, a hard lesson in how not to drive. In Austin, Texas, a motorist with a dash cam is waved on by a dump truck driver who may be having some trouble. The car's driver continues down a long, curving hill to a stoplight. The intersection is busy, making it a bit more challenging for cars in the far right lane to make the turn on red. Which is very bad news for the driver in this gray sedan. The dump truck from earlier plows into a gray sedan, pushes it through the intersection, hits several other vehicles, and then punches through a concrete barrier before finally plummeting more than 15 feet and landing on its side in a ravine. Thankfully, Good Samaritans are able to pull the driver out before his truck catches fire. Emergency personnel arrive on the scene. The driver of the gray sedan is reportedly treated for concussion. The 19-year-old driver of a red car that was T-boned reportedly incurs a spinal injury. None of the motorists, including the trucker, sustained life-threatening injuries. Investigators later determined brake failure as the cause of the multi-car collision. As bad as this situation was, considering the extent of the damage and the number of vehicles involved, everyone is lucky it wasn't much, much worse. In Yuba City, California, a dash cam records as Lily Peterson rides with her husband Michael and two of their children.
Probably why my feet are cramping right now.
We were just leaving our daughter's house. She lives in that area. I travel that road a lot, every day.
But today, this ordinary family drive, filled with ordinary conversation, is about to become anything but ordinary.
I hope they wash my truck tomorrow. Oh my God. 911, 911.
A car flies through the air, between hanging power lines, and lands bumper first, directly in front of the family's car.
Oh my God. 911, 911.
When I saw it, I automatically just screamed. I thought at first it was a rocket because I couldn't tell since I wear glasses.
Maybe nobody was in there.
Oh my God, Mike, can you just back up a little bit?
Well, honey, just hold on.
Get out of
You're not gonna be able to do much.
Get out of the way, please.
My biggest fear was that that car was going to explode.
Stop it,
Yes,
Carlos.
we are on the OnStar ramp on Yuba City, and there was a car that fell off the highway.
It didn't fall off. It jumped the whole road.
Everything starts to move like it seems slower, and your thought process is not the same. Because in my whole entire life, I had never seen something like that. It was very difficult for me to find the phone, to dial 911, to remember what the name of the street was, what had happened.
As Lily remains on the phone with 911,
Hold on. Stop it. I'm afraid to go over there, but stop it.
Michael musters up the courage to scope things out, terrified of what he'll find.
OnStar Road.
Okay, what's the description of the vehicle?
It's a white car, I think, that's on fire.
When I saw that car, I didn't even think that anybody was actually in it, the way it was going and the way of the impact.
But when Michael looks inside the wrecked vehicle, he sees that it does in fact have a driver. A 26-year-old woman who is conscious and amazingly appears to have only minor injuries. The victim is taken to a nearby hospital. Apparently, she had lost control of her vehicle as it accelerated up an overpass after being involved in a hit and run on the adjacent highway.
I can't imagine someone driving that fast to hit that ramp, go flying over the bridge, and the impact falling on the other side of the road where we were at.
Needless to say, the event left a very lasting impression on Lily and the whole family.
I'm very cautious now because some people run the stop signs, people are not paying attention, they're on their phones. Whatever you do, just be aware all the time because, you know, you're not the only one in the road.
911, 911.
In High Point, North Carolina, a truck's dash cam captures vehicles crossing train tracks that appear to be safe, now that a southbound train has just passed by. When suddenly, the gate comes down again, trapping the truck with a dash cam and a blue car on the tracks as a northbound train approaches. The car's driver gets out in a panic. The train is just seconds away, so she runs for cover. While the truck driver puts it into reverse, pushing through the gates behind them. The northbound train demolishes the woman's car. The driver of the car flees the scene, but 2 days later, she turns herself into police and is charged with having no operator's license and cited for a railroad crossing violation. So at a train crossing, remember, waiting for all the signals to be clear is well worth the extra time. Officers respond to reports of an allegedly intoxicated man outside a shopping center in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
How much have you had to drink?
Nothing. I ain't drank anything. You know what? I have drank something, but it's none of your business, man.
Since the suspect shows no interest in cooperating,
What's your last name, man?
I don't know.
police decide to take him down to the station.
Put your legs in the car for me.
Or whatever.
But before the cruiser even begins its journey, the suspect uses some impressive flexibility to remove one hand from the cuffs. The officer drives off completely unaware.
You know what I'm gonna do?
What?
Watch.
But the badly behaving suspect doesn't hide his secret for long.
Look at that. Broke free. County that my subject is out. His cuffs in the back.
Concerned for the suspect's safety as well as his own, the officer turns on the siren and accelerates through traffic. The suspect appears to hold a lighter to the front seat, distracting the officer and causing disaster. The officer loses control and veers off the road, ejecting the suspect out the rear window as the car flips over. Amazingly, the suspect is able to get up and flee the scene, but is soon captured and charged with escape third degree, public intoxication, fleeing on foot, and being a minor in possession.
How you feel, buddy? How you feel?
The officer, however, has to be extracted from the vehicle and is airlifted to a nearby hospital, but thankfully is released a short time later. A close call for the officer and the suspect, both of whom are lucky to have escaped with their lives.